This city offers an amazing array of types of things that you get to do only as a fellow or only in Washington, D.C.
This is the seat of federal health policy, and to be in the middle of it, and those who are talking about it, thinking about it, trying to influence it, or creating and implementing health policy, this is where it is.
Everyone here is focused on politics and policy and making change, both locally and for the country. So it's a very engaging dynamic.
These fellows, they had a great zest for making the most out of Washington and taking advantage of the city and, kind of all the bells and whistles associated with being in the Congress.
I had the brilliant idea to interact with some of the folks at ONC, the Office of the National Coordinator for Health IT, and some of the congressional staffers who were working on health IT informally. So some of us would go to a little restaurant called We the Pizza on Capitol Hill, and we just happened to run into other people who were friends. So we would sit and have pizza, and it allowed for progress to be made on a number of issues.
One day, an example, I was working at my little cubicle in Cassidy's office, and the chief of staff came by, and he said, "Do you want to go meet Governor Kemp?" I was like, "Sure." We went down the street to an event space, and the governor was there. And it was like, oh my gosh, here I am in DC and I get to meet the governor from my state.
Early days of the program, the AMA would invite the fellows for dinner. And it was like they were in a townhouse. And this dinner was so formal and so many courses and, just so above and beyond. That, many of the fellows were kind of, oh my God, this is the best of Washington.
I went with Ron Kind's staff up into the dome of the Capitol, and that was amazing and so much fun. You have these experiences that you would never expect in Washington, D.C., that you don't even know are potentially available.
One of the biggest shocks for me, one of them was just the architecture, which is just so jaw-droppingly it's unbelievable. And you see these pictures in history books. And so walking in and having that be your day-to-day experience is just surreal.
One of my colleagues, we had a little extra time one day and we decided we'd just get lost in the bowels of Congress. And so with our badges, you can go anywhere. And so we just got lost down there in the basements and found the hidden coffee shops and the bathtubs in the bottom of the Congress building. And that has been very fun.
Well, there were some fellows who were very sophisticated and could figure out, how they could go to a special event. Some of them even ended up going to some events at the White House. They were very innovative.
Dr. Margaret, we call her Peggy Wilmoth. She was the fellow that got to work for the speaker. I remember when she called us up and she said, what are you guys doing for the 4th of July? I'm like, why? She's like, the speaker told me that I can invite you all to watch the national fireworks from the speaker's balcony. Who the heck gets to do that? You watch them on TV for years. You get a whole different perspective when you're watching them, when you're actually standing on that balcony, watching our nation celebrate its birthday.
Events, for example, something that was really special and meaningful to me was attending the first Lunar New Year celebration in the White House and also at the Vice President's residence. And just really feeling celebrated, that my culture was being celebrated and that it was a big statement for this to happen. That was something that was really special.